What if I told you that the single greatest obstacle to your health, the hidden force behind your stubborn weight gain, your constant fatigue, and your uncontrollable cravings, isn't your lack of willpower or even the fat on your body, but a biological lock that has been placed on your cells? A lock that prevents energy from entering, leaving you drained while your body stores more and more fat. For decades, we've been told to just eat less and move more, a frustratingly simple solution to a devastatingly complex problem. But what if the problem wasn't your lifestyle, but a fundamental breakdown in your body's communication system? The answer lies in a condition called insulin resistance, a silent epidemic affecting millions, and for years, the scientific community has been searching for a key to reverse it. The search is over. Recent groundbreaking research has uncovered a powerful, natural compound that doesn't just manage the symptoms but directly targets the root cause of this cellular lock, effectively unlocking your cells and restoring your body's natural energy burning potential. This isn't another supplement fad or a magical berry from a remote jungle. This is a fundamental discovery in molecular biology that changes everything we thought we knew about metabolic health, and today, we are going to dive deep into the science of how it works, why it's so effective, and how you can harness its power. Before we uncover this revolutionary discovery, I need you to do something for me right now. If you've ever felt that no matter what you do, you can't lose weight, or if you're constantly battling low energy and brain fog, I need you to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. The information I'm about to share is too important to miss, and by subscribing, you're ensuring you'll get this life-changing knowledge and more delivered directly to you. This is more than just a video. It's a potential turning point for your health, so make sure you're part of this community. To truly appreciate the power of this discovery, we first need to understand the enemy, insulin resistance. Imagine your body is a bustling city, and your cells are the individual homes and businesses. Glucose, from the food you eat, is the delivery of fuel like coal or electricity that these cells need to function. Insulin is the delivery driver. After a meal, your blood sugar rises, and your pancreas, the central dispatch, sends out insulin drivers. These drivers pull up to the cells, which have special docks called insulin receptors. It's a perfect system. The driver knocks on the door, the dock manager answers, and the glucose fuel is welcomed inside to be burned for energy. Now, imagine what happens if this system is overworked. If you're constantly eating sugary foods and refined carbohydrates, it's like the central dispatch is facing a never-ending fuel delivery crisis. It has to send out more and more insulin drivers, around the clock. Over time, the cell's dock managers get overwhelmed. They're tired of the constant knocking. They start to ignore the insulin drivers. This is insulin resistance. The driver is there, knocking loudly, with a truck full of fuel, but the cell refuses to open the door. So, what happens? The glucose fuel is left stranded in the bloodstream, causing high blood sugar. Your body, sensing this danger, panics. The dispatch center, your pancreas, screams, "Send more drivers! We need to clear this sugar from the blood." So, it releases even more insulin. This creates a vicious cycle. Higher insulin levels lead to more cellular resistance, which leads to even higher insulin levels. The stranded glucose, with nowhere else to go, is eventually transported to the liver and converted into fat, primarily visceral fat deep in your abdomen. This is why you gain weight, especially around your belly, even when you're not eating that much. But the consequences are far more sinister than just a few extra pounds. This metabolic traffic jam is the primary driver of prediabetes and, ultimately, type 2 diabetes. It's also linked to heart disease, high blood pressure, polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, certain cancers, and even Alzheimer's disease, which some researchers now call type 3 diabetes because of its strong connection to insulin resistance in the brain. The fatigue you feel isn't just in your head. Your cells are literally starving for energy while floating in a sea of fuel they cannot access. The cravings for more sugar and carbs are your brain's desperate attempt to get a quick hit of energy since the long-term storage system is broken. For years, the primary medical advice has been to lose weight and exercise, which does help, but it often feels like trying to bail water out of a sinking ship with a teaspoon. The underlying cellular dysfunction remains. The locks on the cells are still jammed. This is where the search for a key began, a molecule that could go directly to those cellular docks and repair the communication system, convincing the managers to open the doors again without needing an army of insulin drivers to force their way in. The discovery of such a compound wouldn't just be another tool, it would be a master key. The scientific journey to find this master key led researchers to a fascinating and often overlooked molecule, inositol. Specifically, a unique and highly bioactive form known as myo-inositol, and its even more potent derivative, d-chiroinositol. Now, you might be thinking, I've heard of inositol before, and you'd be right. It's often grouped with B vitamins and is found in foods like fruits, beans, grains, and nuts. But the story here isn't about the basic form. It's about the specific, specialized roles these two forms play inside your cells. They are not just simple nutrients, they are second messengers. Think back to our city analogy. If insulin is the delivery driver, then myo-inositol and d-chiroinositol are the internal communication network and the maintenance crew inside the cell itself. After the insulin driver knocks on the receptor dock, a complex chain of commands has to happen inside the cell to open the gates for glucose. This internal signaling pathway is known as the insulin signaling cascade. Myo-inositol is crucial for the initial part of this cascade. It helps create molecules called inositol phosphoglycans, IPGs, which act like the "you've got mail" notification inside the cell, amplifying the signal that insulin is at the door. D-chiroinositol, on the other hand, is involved further down the line, helping to manage the storage of glycogen, which is how the cell stores glucose for later use. In a healthy, insulin-sensitive person, these systems work in perfect harmony. But in insulin resistance, this internal communication network breaks down. The cell becomes deficient in these critical inositol phosphoglycans, particularly the ones derived from d-chiroinositol. It's as if the internal phone lines have been cut. The driver is knocking, but the notification never reaches the people who can open the gate. The signal is lost. The groundbreaking research revealed that individuals with insulin resistance, whether from type 2 diabetes, PCOS, or metabolic syndrome, have a profound deficiency in d-chiroinositol and an imbalance in the ratio of myo-inositol to d-chiroinositol within their cells. Their bodies either aren't producing enough or they are excreting too much of it. This wasn't just a correlation, it was a direct cause of the broken signaling. The most compelling evidence came from studies where administering a specific ratio of myo-inositol and d-chiroinositol, often a 40-to-1 ratio, miraculously restored insulin sensitivity. It was like reconnecting the severed phone lines. The compound didn't force the cell to accept glucose. It simply repaired the internal communication system, allowing the cell to hear insulin's knock clearly again. This is what sets it apart from every other supplement or drug. Pharmaceutical drugs like metformin work primarily by reducing the liver's production of glucose, which is helpful, but it doesn't directly fix the broken cellular receiver. Other drugs may force the pancreas to produce more insulin, which only exacerbates the problem long term. This compound, however, operates at the root, the cell membrane, and its internal signaling apparatus. By replenishing these specific inositol mediators, it effectively gives your cells back their ability to listen, reversing the fundamental defect of insulin resistance. The proof of any scientific discovery lies in its real-world application, and the clinical evidence for this specific inositol combination is nothing short of remarkable. Let's start with polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS, a condition notoriously driven by severe insulin resistance. Women with PCOS often struggle with weight gain, infertility, irregular periods, and symptoms like excessive hair growth. Study after study has demonstrated that supplementing with a 40-to-1 ratio of myo-inositol to d-chiroinositol leads to dramatic improvements. In one landmark clinical trial, women taking this combination saw a significant restoration of regular ovulation and menstrual cycles. a stark improvement in insulin sensitivity measured by glucose tolerance tests, and a notable reduction in testosterone levels, alleviating many of the androgenic symptoms. It has become a first-line, scientifically backed intervention in endocrinology clinics across the world for managing PCOS. But the implications extend far beyond a single condition. For prediabetes and type 2 diabetes, the results are equally promising. Research published in peer-reviewed journals has shown that this inositol complex can significantly lower fasting blood glucose levels, improve the HbA1c marker, which reflects long-term blood sugar control, and dramatically reduce fasting insulin levels. The latter is key, remember. High fasting insulin is a primary marker of insulin resistance. By lowering it, the compound is directly proving that it is improving the body's response to its own insulin. Let's talk about weight loss. Because this compound addresses the root hormonal driver of fat storage, it can be a powerful catalyst for weight loss, especially when combined with a healthy lifestyle. When your cells are insulin sensitive again, the energy from your food is efficiently directed into the cells to be burned rather than being stored as fat. This breaks the cycle of hunger and cravings. Users often report a natural reduction in their appetite, particularly for sugary and starchy foods, because their bodies are finally getting the steady, reliable energy they need. The constant energy crashes that lead to snacking simply disappear. Furthermore, by improving metabolic health, this compound helps to reduce dangerous visceral fat, the deep abdominal fat that surrounds your organs and pumps out inflammatory chemicals. The benefits create a positive feedback loop. Improved insulin sensitivity leads to better energy and reduced cravings, which makes it easier to choose healthier foods and be more active, which further improves insulin sensitivity. It's the opposite of the vicious cycle we discussed earlier. It's a virtuous cycle of health. It's crucial to understand that this isn't a stimulant or a fat blocker. It doesn't work by jolting your nervous system or by preventing the absorption of nutrients. Its action is far more elegant and fundamental. It's recalibrating your metabolism at a cellular level, shifting your body from a fat-storing mode to a fat-burning mode by fixing the broken communication system that was keeping it locked in storage mode. The timeline for seeing results can vary, but many studies show measurable improvements in blood markers within weeks, with more significant body composition changes occurring over several months of consistent use alongside dietary improvements. Now, the critical question is, how can you practically implement this knowledge? Simply buying any inositol supplement off the shelf is not enough. The magic, as revealed by the research, is in the specific type and the precise ratio. As we've learned, myo-inositol and D-chiro-inositol have distinct but complementary roles. Myo-inositol is vital for the initial insulin signal transduction and is also excellent for improving egg quality in women and supporting mood by influencing serotonin activity. D-chiro-inositol is the key for the downstream metabolic actions, including glycogen synthesis and the proper utilization of glucose. However, taking D-chiro-inositol alone has been shown in studies to be less effective and can even counteract the benefits of myo-inositol if the ratio is wrong. The extensive clinical research points to a physiological ratio of 40 parts myo-inositol to 1 part D. Chiro-inositol as being the gold standard. This ratio mimics the natural balance found in a healthy, insulin-sensitive human body. When you supplement with this specific ratio, you are providing your cells with the exact building blocks they need to rebuild their damaged communication networks without overwhelming one pathway over the other. In terms of dosage, most of the successful clinical studies use a total daily dose of between 2,000 milligrams to 4,000 milligrams, with the D-chiro-inositol making up its small but critical portion of that total. It is generally recommended to split the dose, taking it twice a day with meals to enhance absorption and maintain stable levels in the body. As for sourcing, quality is paramount. Look for reputable brands that clearly state the 40-to-1 ratio on the label and provide third-party testing for purity and potency. This is not an area to cut corners. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: diet. This compound is a powerful tool, but it is not a magic bullet that will undo the effects of a consistently poor diet. Its purpose is to correct a underlying biological dysfunction, which then makes it infinitely easier for you to make healthy choices. To achieve the best results, you should pair this supplementation with a diet that minimizes the factors that cause the insulin resistance in the first place. This means significantly reducing your intake of refined sugars, sugary beverages, white bread, pasta, and other refined carbohydrates. Focus on building your meals around whole, nutrient-dense foods, high-quality proteins like fish, chicken, and eggs, healthy fats from avocados, olive oil, and nuts, and a wide variety of fibrous vegetables. This dietary approach keeps blood sugar spikes to a minimum, giving your newly sensitized cells a stable environment to thrive in. Combining this nutritional strategy with the inositol complex is like fixing the engine of your car and then putting in high-quality fuel. The performance transformation is seamless and powerful. Embarking on this journey to reverse insulin resistance is one of the most profound investments you can make in your long-term health and vitality. The implications stretch out for decades, potentially adding not just years to your life, but life to your years. By unlocking your cells and restoring metabolic harmony, you are actively protecting yourself from the myriad of diseases linked to insulin resistance. You are safeguarding your cardiovascular system from the damage caused by high blood sugar and inflammation. You are protecting your brain from the cognitive decline associated with poor metabolic health. You are empowering your body with stable, clean energy that fuels your days and promotes restful sleep at night. The mental and emotional freedom that comes from this cannot be overstated. Imagine a life without the constant roller coaster of energy crashes, without being a slave to sugar cravings, and without the frustration of the scale not budging no matter how hard you try. This is what becomes possible when you address the root cause. It's a transition from fighting against your own biology to working in concert with it. Your body wants to be healthy, energetic, and lean. It's simply been waiting for the right key to unlock that potential. The discovery of this specific inositol complex represents a paradigm shift in how we view and treat metabolic disorders. It moves us away from merely suppressing symptoms with pharmaceuticals and into the era of functional cellular medicine, correcting the underlying biochemical errors to restore true health. This is your opportunity to be at the forefront of that shift. It's a decision to take control, armed with cutting-edge science, and to give your body the precise tool it needs to heal itself. The path is clear, the science is solid, and the potential for transformation is immense. This is more than a supplement. It's a signal to your cells that the crisis is over, that the communication lines are open, and that it's time to return to their natural, efficient, energetic state. If you're ready to end the struggle with insulin resistance, to unlock your cells, and to finally take control of your metabolism, then the time to act is now. This information is useless if it isn't applied. I want you to take the next step. Do your own research, look up the clinical studies on the 40-to-1 ratio of myo-inositol and D-chiro-inositol, and consult with your healthcare provider to see if this powerful compound is the right key for you. Your health journey is the most important project you will ever undertake. If this video provided you with value, if it opened your eyes to a new way of thinking about your health, then I need you to show your support. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and most importantly, ring the notification bell so you don't miss a single piece of life-changing information we share. But I want to hear from you now. What has your struggle with energy, weight, or cravings been like? Leave a comment down below and share your story. Let's build a community of support and transformation together. The link to my research sources and a high-quality supplement I've personally vetted is in the description below. Check it out. Take action today. Your future, energetic, healthier self will thank you for it.